one that
qualify for it.
wasn't
Masters
international.
One, you know, the
What
original,
about all the other ones?
Back in the good old days. I don't think you were commentating back then, Tom. You probably wouldn't know.
All right. I'm pretty sure we did cast our first game during that Masters, but hey,
that's not the point. Shut your damn mouth, Tom. Enough cheek. Let's get on into the game. We've already kicked off a few little battles here. Some damage done. cNed already looking to bring out that Reyna with some style, but he's not found a victim. They're going to rotate to B, and Oglu are giving up the control.
Yeah, no, completely giving it up. Almost looking like they're just going to try and set up to try and do some damage before the spike can actually go down, but ultimately not going to be able to do too much about that. It will actually go down.
I think he just got caught by a bug there. That was perfect lineup, but a little bit of a bug making the snake bite bounce wrong. It's definitely a bug. Don't challenge me on that.
Definitely.
Oh, he's taking the kill there onto zeek as they start to close in the distance. Wall down. That's got to be destroyed. The wraparound by starxo, though, goes unchecked, and the kills are not rolling their way. Oglu fighting right back into that one. The wall was broken. The flank was completed by starxo around the back of yellow. Things were looking good, but Acend won't get the first.
Yeah, the one thing that has always worried, Oglu was just playing a retake, so it's not going to be too much of an issue, but they still didn't manage to hold on in that after plan. And you can see already early in the rounds, I'm always curious to see who's like farming up those ultimate orbs. They're going for that nightfall, and as one of the ults that we currently have, like a brand new on Fade, it does sound like a terrifying prospect when it comes to pro play.
Now you're gonna have to give us a little bit of breathing room with the first time casting Fade, simply because I don't always trust the HUD, Tom. We'll see as time goes on how reliable it is. For now, everything's been spot on. That's a nice little reveal going up top, catching a few of them, but ultimately the Haunt not yielding too much value. Zeek, though, does go down, making this a costly attempted plant. They're still going to try to find the space to get that spike down.
And it's not going well. Hoping to try and get an elevated angle just to give them an opportunity. Now, there is potential for a dismiss here from cNed, but he's already dead. Insta-killed by the shot. feqew as well. They're just slowly being picked apart. The afterplan at least giving them a little bit of extra credits into the next round, but vakk's gonna hope at least to try and catch somebody, but ultimately it's just gonna be an easy defuse in the end. So yeah, Acend not really doing any damage in this sort of scenario. It means that this bonus...
Yeah, he hasn't got a damn clue. But for those that didn't watch, I think he did an explanation to start out the day. We've got the Haunt, which is her default ability. You see that on the very right side of her little UI bar there for Destrian. That's just, you throw it in, it's like a Phoenix Molly, essentially. You want to, you can make it drop early. Once it pops, it reveals
it combines people with the Prowlers, which is the next ability.
It does, so it leaves a trail. Now that, if you reveal the person. Now, when they're revealed, they'll be leaving a trail for, I think it's 12 or 12.5 seconds, maybe 12.5. That then allows the Prowlers, which are her abilities in the very left. There's two of them there on the UI, and they're 250 credits each. They track really quickly along, like seekers that have seen you along the trail, and they near sight you for 3.5 seconds. And we'll get onto the rest in a little bit, because we've already got a push coming through. feqew has already been taken down. That was a long-range shot straight down B alley, but look at that. Combo. Right away, they've got a combo to push them back.
And again, this is the problem. They need to fight more aggressively just to try and deny these players from being able to peek out, because they don't have the wall. They don't have anything to really deny this. So it has to be more aggressive here. Bear in mind, this is also a bonus round. So they're almost playing into these closer range angles. Look at the tags that have already come through, and they know this. They know it's good. But actually, he manages to escape, and cNed, he's found two through the screen.
This is strong. That wall not going to do anything for them in getting that diffuse through. They've got to get the kills. All down, hype around, and well, that is clean as can be from Acend. Very nicely. Little symbol in the middle of her utility on the UI.
And it's the one I'm most excited for, because it means we can get more combos. And I like those sort of combo abilities that are available. But either way...
so it's you can't escape from it right by running. Essentially, you could like updraft dash, that sort of stuff, but you're tethered to it. Hold on here, feqew. He's going to be in a pretty nice spot if he can still TP out of here. Wants to get that peek soon, and there it is. In and out, nice and clean.
It still ends up in a 3v3, though. Like, Acend have done quite well in these sort of early positions. Vakk as well starts that rotation back through, but ultimately you can see Acend starting to move back in the other direction. But with such an aggressive position currently there for MOLSI, I was going to say they'll have to read very quickly, but he's actually started to move his way back into the A side, maybe just expecting this rotation to come through because nothing has been spotted on the other side. He also has a full belt of utility, so it puts them in an incredibly good spot that he can basically just drone, dart, and just sit there and wait for these players to actually push through and have the information for his side. It's all going to depend, though, on timing.
That reveal actually still concealing him. He's got a little roof above his head. Oh, but they've spotted him now as they drop down. No punish. MOLSI in a lot of trouble as they double, triple peek even into him. Defuse. Gonna be sought, and I believe found here. Nobody for Oglu able to deny that. And starxo primed up on the angle. He won't hit the shot. Well, he will.
I think he did.
But the wall serves as an extra layer of shields, keeping feqew alive just a moment longer. Well, Tom, you know what? While they're saving, let's go into the ultimate of Destrian, because it's online for next round. So for people that are going to be confused, it looks like a Rolling Thunder in terms of how it deploys. Is it the thing? A lot of these, like the Seize and the Haunt, both have like the Phoenix Molly trajectory. The Prowler is like a Sky Flash in that you can control it, right? But then yeah, so Nightfall is hurled, and how it works is it's a Rolling Thunder from a breach. Think of it that way in effect and how it looks.
Yeah.
But what it does to you is it does 75 damage to you, right? Decays you 75. So like you can be in a lot of danger from like a raised nade being anywhere near you in that scenario.
I think it's worth noting as well, something Lotus said earlier, it works in reverse to the way decay kind of normally works, because it's an instant take.
Yes.
And then you heal back up rather than you slowly decaying over time. So that instant means that in combos, it's filth. Yes. Speaking of filth, cNed, using his Reyna to lurk, has already managed to find an opening pick. Now, this purchase is a much weaker one. feqew is the only real weapon. There is no weapon anymore because he is dead. So this round is looking like a fairly easy blitz round for Acend. They're not going to want to lose too many players. You can see some re-aggression coming out from MOLSI as well in an attempt just to retrieve that operator and have something to play with it.
Well, they've managed to make their way over to the site. That operator for MOLSI needs to find something here. They're going to be aware that it can be moving around, but the one kill found. Something to start. A foothold on the round. Still plenty more to do. The Haunt not finding anything. MOLSI void of any other opportunities. He's got his pistol out. He clears up close. That was a risky maneuver. And, well, Destrian has managed to spot them here. That's a Prowler sent out, but it got caught on the fence. And Zeek, well, there he goes. He's gone. This man has got an operator, and he just took that peek with a sheriff. What a lunatic. Here we go. Operator time. Player up close. Now to take the peek, and MOLSI just keeps on hitting. He's being chased down by cNed, but he's going back looking for him. That could have been him.
Gives you quite a bit extra, because you're not just like, oh, I'm going to wall this off and slow them down for a little bit. Instead, you have these more aggressive options for someone like cNed, and still having that Sentinel and play on the other side. Aggressive peek from feqew again. Not going to get anything this time.
Yeah, timing's cut him off, and then look at that, the ulti, making sure there's no triple burst out of that Hunter's Fury. feqew still trying to catch some players off. Nothing to be found as MOLSI goes down. cNed previously lurking, now the man. The point of aggression. I don't even know. Is that what was that bounce? Oh my god, don't take this guy to the beach. He'll be skimming rocks like bullets. That was unreal.
cNed just running at them at this point, and that's the thing. That's the deadly thing about this Acend roster. Is I sort of made this comparison before, but I feel like they are the FaZe, right? The best in his roles. They are just building a team that realistically should be at Masters events. If it's not, I think that's a failure.
I did not teach this man this. I want that to be clear. I do not condone this behavior. This is disgusting. Yep, that about sums up how I felt about that one. Acend have got B.
Honestly, I think we are learning a lot about yeah, Hype being that incredible player that you said.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Just from this round alone, you know?
You watch your mouth, Tom. All right.
Oh, okay.
Look at this. Oh, stampeding over.
What?
Destrian.
This is getting really dangerous. Managing to do so much with the pistols. You've also got feqew with the tour de force. Who has managed to hit a nice couple of shots. Also has a res online, but MONSTEERR is going to be able to find the trade. It comes down to a 1v1. A round that never should have been particularly close. He's going to try and bait him in. Still 2 shots left in the tour de force, but MONSTEERR hasn't moved. Playing it calm. Not expecting him to just stick it all the way, and even gets the timing spot on. Acend get a little closer.
Looking pretty damn good on the attack side here, building up the rounds. Gonna go for some mid control, orb down to try and buy up some space, apply some pressure. Oglu's response right up on A. Starting to take a little bit of space of their own. And looks like Destrian has no intention of stopping. The haunt has already cleared all of heaven. I think even down below it, thanks to its elevation. They're ready for this push now, especially seeing that haunt. You know exactly what that means. And Zeek is going to catch Destrian right away. Some style points on the way down. They're stacked up. And okay, damage done. Boo left on practically no HP. The Hunter's Fury trying to chase him down. It's coming close. But she just slips away. Sage making it out. And Boo might be able to get a res if they leave those bodies untouched.
Do they expect MOLSI to be here, though? Because they've already spotted the fallback. The whole point here is that he's meant for the bait. cNed checks it, though. So aware of the potential of that aggressive spot. And while now Boo is left in no man's land, doesn't have himself the wall either because that's been taken away. Just has to try and land some shots as they head through, and the flash is perfect. These executions from Acend have been so clean. And while Hype, okay, he'll get one on the exit, but it really is an exit at this point. 5 HP, nothing he can do from this scenario, and just has to save the gun. cNed is chasing him.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. cNed is, he thinks that he's a prowler, and he's caught the trail. He is just out there looking to take this weapon away. With 5 HP left, I mean, Hype has to just tuck and turtle. And looks like he will get away with it. Altogether. You know, I would say Fade's current strength, we don't really know how she fits in the meta yet. We haven't seen enough teams experiment with it, and time again, we've had ideas. We've looked at agents and said, oh, yeah, this is how it should be used. And then some team puts in just a, frankly, absurd amount of hours.
Well, there was
comes
an
out with
interview
the best way ever.
Which was perfect, because he went, yeah, I think that right now, Fade is in a good spot. There's going to be aspects of, I think, good players on Fade, and then there's going to be ones where you could just clearly see that they don't have a lot of depth with it.
Yep. And I think, you know, in a month we might see her played well, but it's going to take so long to just form that and really cultivate the top level of Fade play. Anyways, what I was going to say is the strength of her currently is in surprising people. She ain't surprising Acend right now.
No.
I mean, Acend are playing their own game. They don't seem to be disrupted, disturbed by anything going on the other side.
It seems like they're so reliant on these aggressive plays, but Crossfire on the site has actually done its job incredibly well. They've spotted cNed attempting to wrap around. And after what was an initial 2-man advantage, quickly comes back into an even scenario once again. cNed also tagged incredibly low. And there is actually a res available for Boo, so actually going for a rotation here, I was going to say on the attacker side, would have its risks about it, but instead, I like this from Oglu. They're going to go all the way back, knowing that Destrian's position is safe, knowing that his ult is online, bring him back in. And straight away, vakk has just hit 2 crazy headshots. Here comes the ult through, which will give the information over, and also going to try and stun him up at the same time. He's down to just 1 HP, but vakk looking to try and take that fight. It needs to be an almost instant kill if he's going to get it, but even still, it's gone back and forth either way. vakk still caught within this field, and eventually Destrian will put him down, having to use everything on his belt.
Can imagine further down the line, somebody's so comfortable with that tether, they know where to land, all that sort of stuff. You could keep him from getting on the site.
This Viper's pit, and they've just used it to section off mid, basically cut off every single rotation, and also make it a little bit awkward to actually have information. It's an interesting ult from MONSTEERR. Now, it's something that I feel like Oglu almost have to try and clear, because otherwise, well, the playing for information here is going to be very difficult.
Oh, starxo. I mean, he's kind of lucky there. That shock dart being lined up at just the right time. Sort of gets feqew to reconsider peeking out wide. Maybe taking the shot that could have put a real spanner in the works. Really interesting Viper's pit too. I think 99% of the time attack side is post plant. Very rare to see it used for or getting to a site.
Oh. This also looks like it just has some risky positions. Like you can see where he's had to put the poison orb to almost cut off some of that space. Straight away though, it is going to be that plant going through. Back into a 5 versus 4 scenario. So even with that Viper's pit now gone, they're just unable to really do anything. cNed is just running at them again and again. He just has these rounds where he seems unstoppable. He's fighting into the spawn, and actually, now they've lost a couple of players. This becomes possible. The thing is, they had another player lurking behind, a second snake in the grass, and, well, MOLSI now has to do what seems to be impossible.
It certainly proves to be as well. A very strong attack that they want to do all the damage on, and,
Standing ahead.
well, let's hope their attack's a little bit better. They still got to get a round or two more here.
Yeah, curious choice. Maybe trying to use it as almost a bit of a pocket pick because Acend didn't really play it last season, but playing this sort of map versus Acend had massive risks about it. Like even cNed alone used to just be phenomenal at this map, and while it seems like they are definitely well prepped for this sort of pick, some audacious kills being attempted here by Acend, but I guess with such favorable weaponry. Oh god. Yeah, good luck.
Making a lot of these fights very easy, whether it's the weaponry or the utility. This
is he
one,
a shotgun main? It's just we're seeing him a lot with shotguns.
I swear to you, Tom. I swear to you, he's doing this to spite me. This is this is an attack. Look, this not a bad spot to try and save in if the whole team didn't know he was here and had 5 players grouping up on him. Ignore that. It's actually a really good position. Oh no, he has been one-tapped. My god.
Definitely helped to just deny any utility that they would have, and I think the one danger is people have. Oh, I was going to say you have to be careful of just expecting Fade to be an instant game changer in a match. That was a nice shot from Destrian, but he is now also dead.
Not sure they'll be too delighted with that trade, but MOLSI finding another is a huge positive. Utility cut off by that ultimate as the null command comes through. They'll get the site control, the plant. Soon to follow. Where's Fury far enough away? Oh wow, an anime battle here, mid-air firing off. It's caught vakk. Done some damage. Softened him up for the way back through. Flank underway, about to be, no, not about to be spotted. Sorry, starxo's of course dead, so his utility's offline, but cNed is just popping off, going for the fights, getting his heal, his dismiss on with his ultimate. And now he's going to look to fight with his teammate towards the backside as well. This flank needs to be huge, it needs to be fast, but maybe it doesn't. The rest of the team clean up house and leave Zeek alone. Time going to be a big issue here. Zoglu can still get back in. Oh, at least he gets one.
Oh, I thought for a second, like, I think MOLSI jumping down definitely left him a little bit confused, but yeah, just leaving that lurk behind. That's the thing with this composition, like, with cNed on the Reyna, it almost has to be used initially on both sides, playing against it, but also playing with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, playing against it relies on you getting surprised by it. Relies on you not looking comfortable. Acend haven't hit that roadblock just yet. We'll see on the attack the difference that it can make. Thought there was a gap in that wall as well, and you can see MONSTEERR even double checking it, but no, it's free. They've got the plan through. Good containment as well, but the kill step up on Acend's side. Numbers equalized. feqew answers up. Mid control now. There's Acend trying to get their way back in towards the site. Look at this position for MOLSI, though. He has snuck his way in just at the right time. He'll grab himself a kill to, well, I would think secure this one. Just MONSTEERR left.
Oh, 1 bullet left. Boo's just gonna jump over the top. Ugly with a...
Let's get some Bucky FC. Bring it back.
Hey, you actually have an account called like Shotgun to Plat, don't you?
I don't think that's true, Tom. I think you are fabricating at the moment. starxo's being caught in the mid aggression. Aglu looking to move towards this side. They've got one player close. No flashes on Zeek here, so not too dangerous to worry about him. Flashing on around. Honda's huge. Everybody's being seen. Okay, Zeek. Nice first shot, but plenty more to do afterwards, and all just too big of a task. Like I said, this Prowler controlled just like a Sky Flash. Once you let it go, it's going to go straight, and it goes until it sees a player or until it sees a trail, and it lock onto that and then blitz. And also, while you're holding it, if it sees someone, it insta-locks on and goes. It's not like a Sky Flash in that you can just keep it, like fly it past someone. As soon as it sees a person, bang, locked on.
Trying to hold them back, stop them getting anything more. Caught with utility in hand, though. Destrian will go down. Now, 2 kills is normally what we say about the minimum you're hoping for when you're on that other side. It's a pretty good position, and starxo might be able to try and find someone on the way out. It should be an easier kill, but MOLSI just that a little bit further behind is going to...
Into this round number 15. Full buy for Acend. Certainly not the case for good old Aglu. The attackers are armed with pistols for the most part, one of them being a headhunter, though. Little mini guardian. Packs a punch. Boo with a rifle. MOLSI rocking in with a bulldog. There's some potential here as well. And more so, Tom, if they get the site. If they manage to close in the distance to B, then they can certainly be in with a chance of taking it.
Already managing to make a decent amount of ground, but be a little wary. Some of the more aggressive positions. They've been trying to farm up these orbs. They did it. They actually delayed the plant in the last round to make sure that they got it, but the issue is, in terms of weaponry, they have a huge disadvantage, and you can already see the wall just being broken by their opposition. They know how important that's going to be to try and get into that after plant, and well, it's no longer there.
With the wall down, they just wait. They catch a kill. All right, starxo probably regrets doing that. He had an anchor to play back from. Spray through the smoke is good. Reveal, not going to catch anyone that's up above. Pistols. Oh, they line up for Zeek. Great damage done here by Aglu. But the round win looking unlikely at this point. And, oh, there you go. It's locked in for Acend. Still, as we saw.
And on the other side of things, there's potential for a couple of ults to maybe be coming online. Even the Nightfall, a possibility, which within this A site sounds fairly devastating, being able to section off a lot of the closer angles that are there. So both teams very much committed to trying to battle for orb control.
Even be baited out there. You see starxo waiting for the peak. Wanting these attackers to just swing out and confirm that he's there. He can take a head off. Flash primed. Didn't find them, but this time coming from a little closer. That knife has caught someone. They know now that Sage is up close, that someone's holding A. They're seeing some contact on B as well. This is clear to Acend that it's a default at this point. But after grabbing that info and with 45 seconds left, this team is inevitably going to group up and try to push a site. And Tom, they've cleared outside of A at least a decent amount of it at this point. That's why you see Zeek is now making his way to the B site.
It's whether they actually can do much about it. Now, he does have his fragment available. He can get in a position to actually deny the plant. That could be huge because there's only 20 seconds left on the clock. And well, it seemed like they were fairly reliant on feqew to actually get something done. Now the wall is going to be utilized a little bit deeper, but straight on, it's not actually going to do that much damage. It's caught on the other side of the wall, so that's at least something. They get into the after plant, but then lose every single battle since, and now Hype needs to pull off a miracle. And well, he'll only get one. Acend, solid read, solid positioning, and more importantly, well, I was going to say solid retake, but it was barely a retake because they'd already won by the time the plant went down.
Yeah, indeed. That spike plant went down, and there was practically no one left to cover it. Yeah, with 10 on the board, see why you've invested this money in yourself.
I assume it's because they want his quick exit. I think that's the reason. It's so that he can take that early fight and escape. But yeah, I still agree. Like when you already have basically a guardian in your back pocket, nowhere near the tour de force, so it's nothing to do with orbs. Though they are actually going to get a lot of ground for free. Now, Zeek definitely has some information. You're also going to see the rotation through from vakk as well. He only has shock darts remaining, at least for the moment. And with the deep push they've already had through mid, they know it's A. There's not really anywhere else it can actually be on the map. And they're set up for a B retake if they were to need it. Already, Nightfall is cast, but it's completely dodged by the dismiss. And while you can have all the information in the world right now, it's going to make absolutely no difference.
That's Acend reacted perfectly. They gave practically no space. Absolutely love watching this team play. I really do. Teach a masterclass. We've just seen the shock dart to try and delete that trap, and that's actually to delete it on the right side of the map, right? Hype's right as he goes through, but they placed on the left. Acend are just mixing around these trap locations, and it makes it impossible to consistently destroy it.
They also have vakk here as well, so it's like there's so much that they have to get past just to be anywhere near this utility. Hype is actually just about going to win that duel, though. After losing one on the other side of the map, it could be an issue. Okay. I don't actually think they would have cleared starxo there, but it doesn't matter. He wanted to make sure he gets out of dodge just in case he's spotted. Now, deep control is there with the Viper's Pit, although at least right now, Monster's actually not playing within it. So I imagine they're either going to let that fade or he's going to have to run back into it very quick.
Well, it's just disappeared, so that's an answer to that question. Destrian rezzed right back up. And so the man advantage does sit currently in the attacker's favor, but with 35 seconds, they've got to still make this push work. Now they're going to the A site. Only one player here, that is Zeek.
30 seconds left.
Might have some support from MONSTEERR momentarily.
I think his 0 point didn't get anyone. So it's actually given them a full sense of security. He's now going to be under serious amounts of pressure, but it seems he might just thrive within it. Still managing to hide around the corner. Now he's been marked, so they should have a decent idea of where he is. He's managed to bypass, I was about to say. feqew finally puts him down. Monster going over the top, trying to take a pick, and he does.
Oh.
Gets a second as well. Now it just relies on the player within the pit. And also MOLSI sitting a little bit further back. He needs to try and find something here, and MONSTEERR is just ripping them apart. Only one man remaining. Hype within the pit will be able to drop one. And it's left onto starxo to try and finish the work his Viper started, baiting him in. The wall actually going to give him an angle, and Hype will be there to clutch this one out.
Cleaned up. They're not going to have any ultimates to try and recover.
There's
no
a
safety
double
nets.
off. And you've got MONSTEERR pushing as well. This is grotesque. They're looking to just slam them into the ground. MONSTEERR feeling so confident. He's pushing up on a Viper. And the worst thing is as well, starxo is then sat behind. They're going to have information of where he is, but I feel like at that point it's almost irrelevant.
There.
Yeah. Mark was in. The writing was on the floor. Could trace him along, see where he went to. Now he's really and truly out of there. In on the B side. This op in play. cNed containing them. With that op on A side, there is nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere. Look what they're walking into. Double flashes on Zeek. Op holding them on the cross. Player ready to trade up close. Good night. And sweet dreams. That is a beautiful setup from Acend. They had that on lock.
Which, you know, that's not easy to do. This team looks terrifying.
An off shot rings out. cNed still aggressing. Still firing off. They had starxo on the back lines as well. The artillery coming through. vakk starting to push up. The pressure being applied, and Oglu falling to pieces. The Hunter's Fury will seek out Destrian. So will the final two players alongside vakk. The flank contains. Zeke's got him. No way he can go backwards, and so the other two, well, they set up this deadly little firing squad. Look at what he's about to peek into. It's a human shield in the form of MONSTEERR. And the flank eventually closes it out. That is 13-7. And Tom